students, starting with the next lesson, lesson number 3 of the unit number 11. Creating screens and screen elements. In the last video, I have discussed about the screen programming, what it is and how we can create these screens, and what are the screen elements, what are the attributes of the screens, and so on. Now in this video, we will learn about how we can create the screens using Screen Painter, or either you can also create the screens using SE80, which is Object Navigator. So starting with the first slide, that is creating screens. This slide is showing you the number of steps of creating the screens one by one. So you can see, for creating a particular screen, you can perform the following step. The first one step is set the screen attributes of the particular screen. Second number step, design the screen layout in the layout editor. That means if you want to put some elements onto the screen, then you can put your screen elements according to your choice, according to your application. Step number 3, then you need to define the element attributes, the screen element that you have applied on the screens, that you can set the attributes there. And the last step is to design the flow logic, or you may say that you can write the flow logic in the flow logic editor. As in the last video I have already discussed about this flow logic, we have mainly two modules that work behind this screen programming. The first one is PBO and second is PAI. So come to the next slides. This is showing the step number 1, creating screen attributes. You can create a new development object with the type screen, and you can design this screen using the context menu for a dialog program. That means by going to the SE80, select the program and just click on the program, right click on program, and there will be an option create then screen. You can see in this figure the same procedure is showing here. Just this is a program name, just right click and then create, and then it will pop up a window where you can give the screen number. In my case, I am giving here the screen number in between 0 to 9000. But one thing that I want to tell you about this one, and I have also discussed in the last video, the screen numbers greater than 9000 are reserved for the SAP systems. So other than, you can use these screen numbers. Now when you click on OK button, then it will open a Screen Painter in which you can write down the short description and the type of the screen that you want to create. You can choose either normal screen, either you can choose sub screens, either if you want to display some dialog box, then you can choose that option, and it will also ask the next screen. So you can define here the next screen. Suppose you are defining here the next screen is 0, that means it will go back to the same screen, that is your default screen. It will show you the same screen again, and you can also put other screen, then it will switch to the other screen. Now come to the next step, creating screen layout. Second number step, that means we need to define the screen elements on the screens. You can create the screen layout using the screen elements. Either you can also select the fields from the dictionary or programs. Just go there and give there the table name, like you can give the S-Flight, and then when you press the OK, it will display the number of fields which are contained in the particular table, and then you can select the particular fields and then press OK. It will display all the fields onto the screen. And you can see that there is a left panel. On this left panel you can see there are number of there are number of screen elements that you can use in the screen programming. Come to the next step, step number 3. You can also create the element list for the screens. This is an important part. To set the attributes of all the screen elements, the screen pointer provide you an element list with the several views. You can display the attribute of an element from any list. So you can see there are the general attributes. You can see this is the field name, and this is the field name that we have taken from the table. It is showing you at the type is character, and the line it is using 3. Similarly, we have other attributes, text and input-output templates, special attributes, display attributes, modification groups, and then references. In the screen painter, you generally work with the ABAP dictionary data types. If the screen fields you create will be a reference ABAP dictionary fields, the system display the ABAP dictionary data type in the format attribute. You can see here the char ID we have passed from this particular table, so it is showing the type that was defined during the table creation. Now come to the next step, step number 4. Yes, this is the most important step. After setting the screen elements onto the screen, you need to define the flow logic. That means how the program will execute it. So we have mainly two modules that works behind this screen programming. The first one is PBO, that is called process before output. That means before showing the output onto the screen, what you want to display, what you want to execute, that would be included in this PBO. So for creating the PBO, we need to define the modules. Here you can see this is a module, and then we have given here status underscore 0100. Suppose if you want to display particular status of your program onto the screen after execution of the program, then we can use this module status underscore 0100. When you double click on it, it will ask you to create the particular PBO module that doesn't exist, and if you want to create, click on the yes. So by this operation you can define the particular PBO module. Similarly, if you want to show the title bar, similarly you can also use the module title bar title underscore 100. When you double click on it, it will again ask to create the particular object. You can create it, and the same thing you can also create using the ABAP editor, where you can write the particular module status underscore 0100 output, and then write down set title bar, the title bar name, and then end module. You can call the same modules from more than one screens. If the processing depends upon the screen number, you can retrieve the current screen number from the system field, and the system field which work behind this particular module is SYDYNNR. Now come to the next topic. So this was all about the number of steps, step 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next topic is data visibility. Here the concept changes because the data visibility is different from the normal ABAP program execution. The following two software processes are involved in the screen processing of the program. That means when we talk about the data visibility in case of screen programming, that is totally different from the ABAP programming. So we have mainly two software processor that work behind the screen programming or screen processing. The first one is ABAP processor, and second one is DynP processor. The ABAP processor generally control the program flow in a module, and DynP processor control the flow logic and prepares the data to be displayed onto the screens. So generally when screen is processed, two sets of data are visible. You work with the generally global fields of your program within a module, and you can create the global fields. You can see in this screen, in this snapshot, you can see this is tables and this is data. So these tables and data are here global fields. Here the tables and data are also called declarative statements. The data on the screen fields will be transferred to the global fields with the identical name. When you are creating a particular element list, then the field value, or you can say that the screen fields will be transferred to the global fields with identical names in the top include of the program, that is in the beginning of the PAI. So this was the concept of the data visibility. Come to the next point, data exchange screen ABAP programs. This slide is showing how the data exchange between the screens as well as the ABAP programs. Generally, two modules work behind this one, PBO and PI. Now, after the system has processed all the modules in the PBO processing block, the system copies the contents of the fields in ABAP work area, and then corresponding fields in the screen work area. The screens and its associated ABAP program communicates. These will communicate. This is a CAR ID, this is a connection ID, and they will communicate with each other if the fields on the screen and the corresponding fields in the program have identical names. Suppose this is a program work area and we have taken the fields here, the CAR ID and connection ID. So these fields must be same onto the screen fields. Identical name should be there. Now PBO, that is process before output. So we have done here, what we have done here, the table we have taken SYDN underscore connection, and these are the two fields, CAR ID and connection ID, in which we are moving the data from W underscore SP fly to SYDN connection. That means we are moving this from this one to this one. So after processing PBO, process before output, after processing the PAI will work. So before PBO we have set the fields value and then it will display directly to the main screen. Now after executing of this screen, that means the PI module will execute. Process after input. Once the user have input the data or execute the particular instructions, then PI will pop. And the functions or instruction that you want to apply here, you can apply here. So this was all about the data exchange between the screens as well as ABAP programs. So dear students, this was the lesson number 3 of the unit number 11.